Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm making a video showing how I was able to get hands-free driving in my BMW X5. This video is for entertainment purposes only, so make sure you keep that in mind if you follow any of these instructions. Alright, so this modification requires no programming. All you have to do is change a little module in the steering wheel. But keep in mind, just because you can do hands-free doesn't mean it is safe to do so. You should always have your hands on the steering wheel, and you should always be paying attention to your driving and your surroundings. BMW is considered a level 2 autonomous driving, meaning that it is simply a driver assistance. It has the lane keep assist, that it has the cruise control function with the distance settings. So that does not mean that this can drive itself, and it does not mean you do not need to pay attention. Hands-free driving will have limitations. This is a modification to stop the need to sense your hand on the steering wheel. You still do need to pay attention at all times. The system should also only be used in under 40 miles per hour and in stop and go traffic. This is actually what the system is supposed to be doing. In order for you to make this work, you will need to have the Driver Assist Professional package, or you can have the Driving Assist Pro package, and this must have the active cruise control with the stop and go and the active lane keep assist. This modification would be similar to the extended traffic jam assist, but if you have a 2019 X5 like mine with a production build date of November 2018, you do not get this extended traffic jam assistant. Instead, you get the regular traffic jam assistant. With the extended traffic jam assistant, you get to have hands-free driving under 40 miles an hour in stop and go traffic. But with this modification, I can have hands-free driving at any miles per hour with or without traffic. So I had all of these buttons and even the monitor for the eye right here, but I still did not get the extended traffic jam assistant. So the most I can do is I can let go of the steering wheel for, let's say, 6 seconds, and then it'll start to alert me. But now with this modification, I do not have to touch the steering wheel, but I always do because that is what is safe. And before doing any of these modifications, there is one change to make in the software. So we're gonna go over here, we'll hit the driver assistance, and we will configure individual and lane departure warning, turn off steering intervention, because what'll happen is this system will detect some sort of lane or something change, and it will jerk the steering wheel out of your hands. This I recommend turning off no matter what. Even if you don't do this modification, you should turn this one off because it will do that. But if you do this modification, especially if you are gonna have your hands off the steering wheel in 40 mile an hour or less traffic, you should have that off. That way your steering wheel does not get quickly jerked out of your hands. So let's go ahead, we'll go for a drive and I'll show you this system in action. And then after that, I will show you how we remove this airbag and then how we take this apart and do this modification. It's very easy, takes about 10 minutes. So you'll just have to order a part online. It costs about $30 to do so. So let's go for a quick drive and see what we can do with this modification. All right, so I got the GoPro mounted here, so we will do our first test of this system. So I turn it on, activate it. It shows the green lines like it normally does. Everything's the same as it normally does, but instead of having to touch the steering wheel every 6 seconds, I don't have to. Keep in mind, if there is traffic around you, you should always have your hands on the steering wheel. You know what, never mind, you should always have your hands on the steering wheel even if there is no traffic around you. So it's holding it into its lane. So we'll brake, turn off the system, we'll turn right here. So it needs to have clear markings of the lanes, okay? So keep that in mind. So we'll resume. Right now there's no clear mark, now it is. So there are limitations. If you're coming up to a red light or a stopped traffic in front of you and you're far away and it doesn't register that car in front of you, it won't stop right away. Okay, so you need to be monitoring traffic far ahead of you. You need to stop. This is only for stop and go traffic. But as you can see, it is driving itself around this corner nicely. The lanes, you can see both markings on the lanes. So we'll just drive around and see how it does. So here's where you start to get this secondary lane right here. It could swerve over or it could drive straight. That is why you should always have your hands on the steering wheel. So like right now I'm coming up to a red light. I have to hit the brakes because it's not going to sense this car soon enough, and what's going to happen is it's going to end up slamming on the brakes. So like now it sensed it quick, but that is not the safe thing to do. It's nervous for me, it's probably nervous for that driver, but still, hands are off the steering wheel, hands are off the brake. So treat this like you would without having this module done. Still have to hit the brakes, still have to hit the gas. But now let's say we're in stop and go traffic, so it should do some following. So this is where the system won't get the side markers and it could shoot you over into the side traffic. Like right now it says I need to grab the steering wheel because it did not sense the lanes. So you always have to keep that in mind. Always just have your hands on the steering wheel. This is for testing purposes only. So this is where it's no center, there's no good lane marking, so it does not know what to do. So then it tells me to grab the steering wheel. So there are a lot of limitations with this system. Keep that in mind. Also, coming up to tight corners like this, the system is not designed for tight corners like this, so it can get confused. Even BMW says that in the owner's manual, that you need to take over driving in tight corners like this, so keep that in mind. I've been using this for several months now, and it has taken me sideways several times. This is usually an intersection that it doesn't. So now, see how it shoved me right into that wall? Keep that in mind. And again, it's doing it again because there's no good lane markers, and it turns off the system. Another thing, tight corners, it might not work and it will go back and forth in the lane in the corners. So again, you should have your hands on the steering wheel driving the car. And then this is what the on-screen display will look like when you're using this system. Your car has to already have all of this system in order for this to work. Keep that in mind. So you can see there, just lost the lane detection. It told me to grab the steering wheel again. So this is not self-driving. This is a driver assistance, and you should always have your hand on the steering wheel. All right, so now we're gonna get ready to hop on the expressway. And I wanna show you how well this system actually works on the expressway when there are good lane markers. turn it on, and we will set it. 70 mile an hour, no issues. We're gonna be coming up to a tight corner up here. It will deactivate on this tight corner. So always keep that in mind. Always just have your hands on the steering wheel. So there it goes. So let's head back to the house and I will show you how to do this modification, and hope so far you are enjoying the video. All right, so now we need to unplug the battery and we will get the steering wheel all disconnected. So we'll go ahead and unplug the battery. We'll disconnect the negative side of the battery. A little pad there so it doesn't make any type of connection. And lower this door down a little bit. Give it about 5 minutes. Make sure you keep the vehicle unlocked. Now that we are in the BMW, I have the battery unplugged in the back. I left the key inside the house. I let the vehicle sit for at least 5 minutes, and then you can come in here. It says not to open or close the door for 5 minutes. So we'll sit in here for a good 5 minutes, make sure every system is turned off, don't click any buttons, and then we will begin. You'll need a puncture tool, and then you will need a T20 extension head. On the side here, there'll be a little indentation on the steering wheel. You'll be able to feel it right here. You have to poke into that leather, and then you do the same on the other side. You have to poke an actual hole in the leather, and it goes in about that angle. Okay. And then you take your T20 and you can shove this in that hole. And then what this is doing is there's a little button on the inside here and on the inside here, and that's going to release this airbag. Push in here about this angle, and then you'll feel a little spring, little tension spring in there. And so you can see the angle that you're pressing the screwdriver in. That is what you are pushing in to release the airbag. Okay, once you feel this, you'll see it start to release. And you go over to the other side, and same thing. And just like that, your airbag is released, and you can set this up aside. Now the next thing you need to do is unplug these paddle shifters right here. Okay, once the airbag is released, there's a little bolt right there. That is for the paddle shifter. That is a T20. And same thing on this side. There's a little bolt in here. It's under here. It's a T20 also. You'll remove your paddle shifters. And then under your paddle shifter is going to be another T20 Torx bolt you need to remove. So go ahead and remove that. And then on the bottom here is going to be another T20 Torx bolt to remove. So go ahead and remove that also. Unplug the airbag and set it aside. And then you can start to pry on the sides here, and the bottom here. And then on the top, you have to put your little tool and pry it out a little bit. And same right there. And now this should be able to come forward. Alright, I'll try to get this in view as best as I can. So you can remove this. There's a little plug on the inside right here. Unplug that. And then that will allow you to move this trim out of the way. This is the piece you're going to be removing. So unplug this little green plug right here. You won't be using this green plug, so you can tuck that away. Unplug this other plug from it. And then this, you are removing this. Take your new component that you bought. You'll plug in one side to this. And then this will plug into the steering wheel right here. And then this white plug also does not get used. So now you just need to tuck all these wires away inside here so you can replace the trim. And so you can see the angle that you're pressing the screwdriver in. That is what you are pushing in to release the airbag. It's probably the hardest part of this job. It's not very hard. And then now that everything's tucked back in, you can tighten up the screws on the back here to hold this down. Don't forget to tighten the screw down here. And then you can tighten up the paddle shifters. Okay, so now we can plug in the airbag right here, and that'll pop back into place. If it doesn't go back into place, check your wires to make sure you're not hitting on anything. And that's it. Plug your battery back in. It will say drive malfunction. That's from the battery being unplugged or from getting rid of this module. It will go away. So let's plug the battery back in and make sure everything works good. Right, so now we can take our key and test it all out. When you go for your first drive, it will say driver assistance camera malfunctioning. You drive for maybe 30 seconds and then this all will work then. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, this is for testing purposes only. Do this at your own risk, and always pay attention when driving, and always have your hands on the steering wheel. All right, have a good day. Thanks for watching. All right, the last thing you might be wondering with this modification is the self-parking or the backup assistance. So this still works perfectly. So you can still click the backup assistance button and it will automatically back up for you. No issues with that. Everything still works perfectly, just as it did before.